Hey there, Taurus. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. Taurus, this is going to be your weekly reading, January 15th through the 21st. This will be for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus. Cross watcher, if that's you. Welcome. Guys, discern the messages. You're here. You know how this works. Taurus, I got a little bit of mixed messages when I sat down here to do your video, and I can't help but feel like you earth signs are like, I don't know, there's an anxiety attached to this week for you. I don't know. I'm curious to see if it comes up for the other elements, but for you guys, there's a nervousness here. Forbidden. Wishing. I'm hearing something's out of reach. Someone could be out of reach. Wasn't there like an 80s song that said something? Maybe it was 90s. Was it out of touch, out of reach, or something? Like, shit, I can't remember. Forbidden honesty and wishing. Taurus, there's some kind of roadblock here. And I was kind of picking that energy up before I opened up the reading. 10 and a 9. Something is coming to an end. You know, I've talked a lot about partnership, right? I'm going to give it to you guys just fact, the way it is. Talked a lot about partnerships, and I've said recently, and I think even in last week's readings, that we're going to see a lot of focus around that this year. Your reading today for this week is no different. You guys have been tangoing with this energy now for a little while, this back and forth. Dare I go there? I wish it was different. Should I? Shouldn't I? And I think it was even in your last week's reading or your inner child reading where it was the weekend reading, where there is like this energy of something coming to a close that you really did hope would work out better. Like I felt like you were optimistic when you started off in whatever this venture or partnership or whatever this was. But there's something about it that it's like you can reach out, but you can't quite touch it. You can't quite get your grasp on whatever this is. And I don't know. It's like lying and waiting, hoping, wishing, praying. You know, some of you, Spirit said, could have put all your eggs in one basket on something. Focus. Communication and observation. I feel like the focus here, funny, that card, different deck came out though for Capricorn. You guys are overlapping like usual here. I feel like whomever you're dealing with, Taurus, the language, whether it's love language, just strictly communication, the words are getting, they're getting muffled. I feel like where there was a lot of possibilities, you're starting to see, Spirit just said the only way forward is through you. And this aura, it's like, what are you carrying with you? What is it about either yourself or another person or situation that you're starting to observe? I heard something can't be beat, whatever that means for you. And I feel like a lot of you are trying to kind of anchor yourself down into a bubble of protection as well. It's like, what am I carrying with me? Is it worth carrying with me for? What I do like for you, Taurus, is that there's a lot of rainbow kind of colors. And to me, that's like highlighting happiness or whatever is Spirit is saying is around the bend. It's what you've had your sights set on. I don't know if you're writing or Spirit is saying Remember that your words are spells, right? Like we talk, we admit, we live that. And this forbidden is like, how do I explain this? You may not see yourself as some kind of shining light as a result of something not working out. I don't feel like the fine print in a situation, whether this was a contract or paperwork or whatever, there's something around the fine print. So I would say go back and look at the time period that you committed yourself to something. It doesn't have to be on paper, but just the commitment of doing something, or where you had to express something in that moment that would solidify something else moving forward that you feel is not coming to fruition. Did everybody read the fine print? Did everybody see the fine print of a situation? Was there an understanding, or were we just so focused on one specific area? It's like, yeah, you know, here, like we all sign documents all the time, right? And you could have decided to buy a car and you just were worried about the payment and the interest rate. But you didn't read the fine print that says if you were more than 5 days late, like your payment would be doubled. I mean, it doesn't happen, I don't think. But there's something about the fine print of a situation. And now it's like you're seeing that there's a roadblock that's happened and you're wishing for it to be different. Okay? Spirit said you took on too much with a particular situation. And when I seen the energies playing out over the weekend on Friday's reading for the weekend, 654, going back, Spirit said, going backwards, there was some energy around a particular person or situation in your world where it was like, yeah, it started off optimistic, but now it's like, this is a little more than I want to deal with. I don't want to deal with any of it. And I feel like you're shutting the door to situations, or trying to shut the door, or the door needs to be shut on something here because there was just something that was missed. And it's like you could be feeling like you're trying to protect yourself moving forward somehow, or something in that regard. So you guys put that where it fits in your world, but that's how it feels coming through. But there's something about an understanding, right? Like, it's like you're going back and checking yourself. It's like spell check. Like you put it out there, but did you proofread something? Did you really, again, look over the details of something before you decided to get into whatever this is? So let's see here. What else for Taurus this week? High Priestess. Spirit said it was fun and games while it lasted. Oh boy. Taurus, you guys always give me a run for my money here. Spirit, what does Taurus need to know the 15th through the 21st, please? 5 of Wands, competition, yeah. Are you competent? There we go, I guess. I don't know. Competing, competition, arguments. This can be with other people. This could be external. We're going to pull the cards. Again, time to make an exit, taking action towards walking away. It's no longer emotionally fulfilling, wanting to move on and getting out of a situation. You know, you think about, I don't know what this sporadic energy is that I keep feeling. I see it with Capricorn too. When a fire is burning and the ash is flying, like it's going all these different directions, right? And you look at this arrow card and you see that in that too, right? Like it's going 1,000 different ways. There's that fire in the middle, right? But there's all these ashes that are flying all these different ways. So the potential that it could have been so many different things. And then flowers comes out on the bottom, but it's about being fickle. You know, and fickle is not really having our minds made up or making a decision and going off and doing something else. And the thing that Spirit's also bringing to my attention is like, if you take flowers and you put them in a vase, right, you're captivating that beauty and just, you know, maybe for a week they're going to live in that vase of water, but they always die. Sometimes you're better off leaving those plants planted where they belong rather than taking them and making them your own and then as a result they die. I hope that's making sense. I hope that's fitting what it is you've got going on. As I say that 10 on the clock there, so another ending. So one more card here, please, Spirit. One more card for Taurus this week. You guys see me shuffle. You cannot make it up. Death card. There is an absolute ending, Taurus, taking place here, and it's necessary. Be careful who you're arguing with. Be careful who you're fighting with. I do feel like there are people around you that could be in this fight. I also feel like for you, you feel like you have a stake in this fight. I think that you may be trying to find the strength and courage to get out of a situation, again, where you maybe didn't read the fine print, or maybe you're dealing with somebody, right? Reverse the rules as it applies, Taurus, where they didn't read the fine print and now they want to make an exit, and it's kind of leaving you in a space of limbo. Let's see. Let's do a little bit of clarifying here. See what this Five of Wands is about, Taurus. The word dictionary is coming and drawing my attention back to that card. You could be dealing with somebody who's tried to dictate a situation, and then I don't think there was ever a clear understanding. It was kind of like a wing it. If you're dealing with other people, like winging it to see what happens. But it's Five of Swords, the Five of Wands, and Three of Swords. Emotionally feeling bankrupt, fighting through your emotions. But it's also, I think it's funny when we look at the Three of Swords, we tie it to hurt, pain, betrayal, loss, heartbreak. But the interesting thing is, when you think about that stuff, that tends to go back to our emotions rather than the mental energy, and they're giving us specific drive to the mental agony that this competition, this fighting, this overreach of behavior has created and is creating. And it's emotionally shutting you down. Like, granted, it's the Queen of Cups, but when it comes to this particular deck, like, she's protecting her cup. She's not really nurturing it. She's just covering it over. She's protecting it. And it's like the actions of whether it's you or somebody else, there's that King of Wands again. Something may have happened around Sag season that created or started to create this mental anxiety around this fight or this competition. Eight of Cups, Four of Swords, seeking, go from the Three of Swords to the Four of Swords. Learning that when it's time to walk away and you're going to have to make this decision that's coming from a loving space. Empress, right? She's a lover, she's a nurturer, she's a carer, she's a giver of life. That sometimes, and I've said this so much since the end of December, sometimes the greatest act of love is just to let go. And what Eight of Cups is letting go of loveless situations, letting go of things that are empty and emotionally dry. Four of Swords is through that you're able to heal. When you walk away from that baggage, you walk away from that bullshit and move into something else. You make that decision here with the Lover's card. This is definitely karmic, Spirit is saying. It was meant to teach you something, of course. What is this Four of Swords? The Tower. It's kind of like shaking you loose here, Taurus, whatever this is. That if there was something, again, the Tower is unstable foundations. It is things that have been built up on something that is not healthy. It is not possible to be sustained. And eventually it's going to break and it's going to falter. And we're seeing that here. And I think that that's kind of how you're feeling, is like, if I walk away from this, everything that I've worked for, everything that I've put into and or invested in, a lot of arrows and swords here, that it's like, what's my next step here? And you could be dealing with an Aries, a Scorpio. You've got double Scorpio and Aries here. It's going to restore balance when you walk away from a situation. And I feel like if you've gotten tied up into something that has been unhealthy for you, this is part of you regaining control, and Spirit is saying for the right purposes in your life. So just be aware of that. What is this Death card for Taurus this week? King of Wands. I just said about him, and there he shows up again. All right. The Lovers, again, so you could be dealing with a Gemini, doesn't have to be. Gemini season could be very important to you. I feel like it's funny because I feel like this card is taking me back. And yeah, there's the truth of the matter there. Ace of Swords. That justice, balance. I said karma, right? Like there it is. The truth of the matter is probably around Gemini season. I'm going to go back to last year. There could have been something that happened around Libra season, but they're giving me specific time markers with these cards, is that's why they're coming out the way they are. April, Aries season, you could have had a vision. It's been brought into life somehow. Something started to happen. There could have been some signings of something. Something could have transpired where there's some fine print leading into this conflict. And I'm gonna leave that sit there. Ace of Cups. There's just a lack of love here. A lack of love, even with that Ace of Cups showing up. Because, you know, I don't read them I read them upright, but whatever energy I get from them is what I go with. That Five of Wands, Three of Swords, Eight of Cups a second time, and then the Queen of Swords. Star, listen, if you're going to make your dreams and desires a reality, you have to input 1616 on the clock. That is the Tower twice. You could have watched some visions or ideas falter. Or you could be attached to somebody that you've watched their visions and or ideas falter. The Queen of Swords, she's very cunning in how she thinks. She makes decisions. And I feel like somebody here is making a decision not once, not twice, but 3 times over to get up and walk away. And then here you are attached to this ending somehow, Taurus. And I'm going to tell you the same thing I kind of told Virgo. You are probably frustrated by whatever this is, and reasonably so. But whatever action you took decision-wise last year, again, I'm going to go back to that March-April time frame. It led up to a point of Libra season, so September, October, and now balance, justice is coming in, right? It's like whatever karma, and you could be dealing with somebody who kind of puts you out in the cold. Even though I don't have the Five of Pentacles here. This is meant to kind of restore a space of, there are no highs, there are no lows. It's like starting from ground zero. When you think about that tower has to hit, it's got to clear out, everything is flat, and then new growth can begin. And I really do feel like that is what is happening here. Lesson. I would like to say don't sign shit during Mercury retrograde, but we can't live by that, right? We still have things that come up. It's about being detail oriented. There's more than just I don't see it here, but Spirit is saying the beauty of things. It's got to run deeper than that. It's got to run on the emotional plane. And it's like, again, the Strength and the Star are coming up underneath the bottom on both of these. And Taurus, there you are, the King of Pentacles. Is like, you may feel like you've had to persevere through things. Like you're always fighting to get your wish fulfillment. You're always fighting to just be genuinely happy with the outcome of things. And every time I look at this spread here, I go back to that Eight of Cups. Like it's dead center. Like the biggest part of you is recognizing the things that you need to walk away from, because then your wish fulfillment comes in naturally. You know, it's throwing a coin in the wishing well, making your wish. But then you see that forbidden. It's like it always gets shut down. Are you following your heart is really what I want to say to you. You following the passion within you, because that's what you're being called to do. Okay, so I hope that's making sense for you. And giving, Spirit is saying that it's like, they want to put you at ease. They want to help you put yourself at ease. That you are protected, but you have to move with them, in flexibility with them. It's like you jump into things and you may not see the big picture. You just see what, this end result looks really good. And I mean, hell, we've all been there, Taurus, right? I mean, I've done it, you've done it, everybody and their mother's done it at some point. But it's like getting down to the truth of the matter. There's a lot of swords here, a lot of backstabbing. There's a lot of deception around this for me, for some reason, for you guys. And I feel like it's kind of like everybody, this Five of Wands kind of gives me the vibe of everybody's got a sword in their hand. It's like fighting fire with fire. You say something shitty to me, I'm gonna say something shitty to you back. Like, it's tit for tat kind of feel. And then what it ultimately ends up doing is leaving everybody fighting and in competition with one another, right? It's not a healthy dynamic. All right, advice for Taurus. Give bravery. There's that strength card again, right? And ask for help. I said about jumping in. There it is. Don't jump in. Get all the facts. Get all the details to something here, Taurus. That's the thing here with this dynamic of the people that are kind of fighting and competing with one another. Nobody wants to give. It's like everybody is like, I'm out for me, and nobody wants to just give to a situation, whether it's fear, hurt, pain, betrayal from the past. They've already walked away from situations before. Some people could be trying to make their way back in, Spirit is saying too. And it's like, they don't want to give, but it's almost like somebody's expecting somebody to correct something where maybe both people were wrong in, okay? Bravery. Being brave enough to walk away and knowing when enough is enough. Because, again, it's going to restore that balance. I said everything goes, I just happen to look here. Everything goes back to that ground zero kind of energy where there's nothing but the ability to rebuild. And that tower sits there, right? Everything crashes and burns. And then you see, what I like about this Two of Pentacles is it's not the influx that we see in the original Rider-Waite deck. They're right beside one another. There's transformation that happens with this Two of Pentacles. So being brave enough to understand the fear that you've been living in, but you've been putting that fear off. It's like once you understand that fear of letting go, you're going to be able to move forward and on a positive note. Jump in. You've done this. You've done this, and now it's like once you're in it, now you're like, shit, now what do I do? And it's saying ask for help and connect. You know, if you're not sure what to do, you made a leap, maybe shouldn't have made that leap when you didn't, you know, somebody didn't read the fine print here. Understand what it was about that you took a chance. And look, they're saying to slow down. Learning, and I said it a little bit ago, learning not to jump in full force, all your eggs in one basket. Like, you've got other choices to cement yourself into something that may or may not work out. Like, I mean, obviously we have to take a risk. You don't take a risk, like, again, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. But you also have to do a little bit of weighing of the risk and the reward as to how it could potentially play out. So, but if nothing else, you've gained experience. So don't see it as like all for nothing. But now's the time to go. Now's the time to walk away. Okay? All right, Taurus, I'm going to leave it there. You could be dealing with a Scorpio, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, Aries, or Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. There we go. Libra, Aquarius again, Taurus, Leo, Aries, Scorpio, Sag, Gemini again. So it doesn't have to be, but those are the signs. So I'm going to leave it there, Taurus. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I hope you have a fantastic week ahead. Learn to Zen. Learn to sooooo, right? All right, you guys take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.